Hi guys, it's Monday Maker. How are ya? How was everyone's weekend? That was really high, sorry. How did you guys celebrate your weekend? I hope you are actually celebrating your weekend and, making it a little bit different than your regular weekdays. I spent Saturday, hi Katie, I spent Saturday on the couch. That's all. The end. That was all I did. I spent the entire day on the couch and it was glorious. And I ate way too much junk food and I stayed up really late. But you gotta do that every now and then, right? You gotta really lean into that weekend thing. Oh my goodness. So it is Monday, so no more weekend. It means back to the grind, but I am here to give you a fun project to send you forward into the rest of your week with a little bit of inspiration, and this is a fun one. I really enjoyed putting this necklace together, and so I'm really looking forward to putting it together for you guys, because the way things work is I will put together a project most of the time, not every time, but most of the time I'll put together a project ahead of time, and I'll take the pictures of it and I'll send the pictures on and let everybody at Jesse James Beads take a look, see if I get the stamp of approval or if we need to make some changes. And then I have to take it all apart again. That's the sad part. Hey Terry, hey Rosanna. So I have to take it all apart, put everything back in the packages, and then wait until I can put it back together for you guys. And sometimes that's hard to do. It's hard to put together something and then be like, oh no, I have to take it apart. That's a hard one, but I do that, and I do it for you guys. It is all for you all. So I can't complain too much now, can I? All right, so what we're using for today is something that is you can still get tonight. All right, chain reaction. Do not forget, the chain reaction special is still happening, and tonight is the last chance you're going to have to get your chain reaction. So you can get a free bundle of chain reaction with your $35 cart, and the coupon code for that is free chain special, no spaces. Okay, so that is included in tonight's project. We're going to use some chain reaction. We're also going to use some Design by Me bead mixes, and those are also on special right now. So check out over on the Jesse James Beads website. There is a little pull down menu right across the top, and it says weekly specials, I believe is what it says. Pull that down and take a look at it, because there is always a different weekly special going on. There is get a free Design by Me mix with a $35 cart. The code for that is DB mix. I was looking for it on I thought that was my shorthand, but that really is what the code is, DB mix, for a free Design by Me mix with a $35 cart. Or you can also get a free Dress It Up buttons pack with coupon code Dress It Up, no spaces, and that is with a $15 cart. So a lot of good deals going on. Definitely check those out. Okay, so we're going to use some chain reaction, and we're going to make a multi-strand necklace. I'm using some chain reaction that has these really beautiful, I don't know if you can tell, they're purple. The beads that are on here are purple. So what we're making tonight is all purpley, and we're going to be using Design by Me mini mixes. We're using 2 of the mini mixes. We're using beads from 2 of the mini mixes, and these guys are very reasonably priced, so I didn't feel like I was going overboard by using 2 of these. So this is grape juice, I believe is what this is called. Yeah, this one is called grape juice, and I'm using 2 of these. So this is a purple inspired, well, not purple inspired, it is purple, not inspired by purple, but is purple. All right, so let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time, shall we? Hey Jane, hey Joan, hey Vicky. All right, guys, flipping you around. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to dump out the grape juice Design by Me so that you guys can take a look at it. There are, I have pulled beads from them already. So there are a couple of things that are missing from here that I've already pulled out, but you're going to get a pretty good idea of what is included here. So one of the things that really stood out to me in this little mini mix is the clasp that is in it. So we're definitely going to take advantage of this little toggle clasp. We're going to work this into our necklace design. We're actually going to put this on the front. So this is going to be actual, you know, part of the design itself. And then in each one of these little mixes is a butterfly. Mine still has the jump rings on it. I did not have the heart to take the jump rings off because I was afraid I was going to forget which jump rings go where and how many. So I left the jump rings on there. But one of these little butterflies is in every one of the grape juice Designed by Me mini mixes. And I loved it so much, I thought, you know what? Let's use 2 of them. That's why I opened 2 of these packages. Let's use 2 of them and let's use them as multi-strand connectors, right? Because the wings have the little openings here. So you could use it as a single for like an earring or a pendant or whatever. But I thought, you know, this is the perfect little way to do a multi-strand necklace design. So that's what we're going to do. And part of the reason that I opened up 2 of these, but the other reason that I opened up 2 of these is because there are these purple beads in here that I absolutely fell in love with, and I wanted to show them to you. And I wanted to use a bunch of them. So, so I pulled these out. Look at these little, they're like, what do you even call that color? It's like a really light lavender color. It's just such a pretty soft pastel purple that I really loved, and I thought that it went really well with the little butterfly and also with our chain reaction that has the purple beads in it. It was just it was the perfect complement to this deep purple that is in the chain reaction. So I thought that it was a really good mix all the way around. And then we're also going to use some of these little mother of pearl beads, these little rice shaped beads that have been dyed purple. These are mother of pearl. We're going to use some of these as well. So this necklace has a little bit of everything in it, and I think you're going to like it. It's really fun. It's really an easy to put together project. This is not difficult. It's really just the time consuming part is just putting everything together. Okay. So without further ado, you guys, let's get started with it. Let's get to it. Take another look at that. Like I said, there are some beads missing because I've pulled them out, but I did want you to get a good look at the grape juice mix because it is so pretty. And one of my favorite beads that I didn't use is this guy right here. I love these. There is something about this bead, and I've seen these in different colors in some of the other Jessie James beads mixes and in different shapes actually. And I don't know what it is. It reminds me very much of a vintage style bead. And I'm just really kind of in love with it. So we're going to use these and make some earrings to go with it if we've got time. The earrings are super simple, easy. You just use some leftover chain reaction. So love those. Let's get to it. No more talking. Let's get to work, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my bead mat here, and we are going to get to the basics. So we're using 2 of these. You guys will have to excuse my stuffy nose. The pollen here where I live, there's like a yellow layer of pollen on everything, and it is really starting to get to my sinuses. So we're going to use our little butterflies as our multi-strand holders, or our connectors rather. And the top layer here, the top tier is only going to be 1 drape, and it's going to be a drape of our chain reaction. And then we're going to have a drape of beads and then a longer drape of the chain reaction. So we're using plenty of chain reaction for this. So if you've got lots of chain reaction, or you grab that bundle with your $35 cart tonight, I'm going to give you a great opportunity to use some of it. Okay. So I've taken my chain reaction. I have it in 3 different sizes. The length portion of our necklace is going to be 1 long section of chain reaction. This one is 16 inches. Okay, so you're going to need a 16-inch section or just a long section. You can change that. And Yes, Rosanna, pine pollen and maple and something else, walnut. I think it's like it's really starting to get to me. I feel like I have a big glob of pollen down the whole back of my sinus cavities. It's really bad. I know that's such a nasty picture. I'm so sorry for being so gross. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then you need two more pieces. One that is about 9.5 inches, and then the shorter piece is only going to be about 5.5 inches. You can adjust these however you want to. As far as, you know, how long you want your drape to be. And then that first really long piece, you can shorten it up if you want a shorter necklace or make it a little bit longer. It really just depends. And it also is going to depend on how much chain reaction you have, okay? So let's start by just attaching this first top tier of our chain reaction. This is just going to be a really simple attaching it to some jump rings, okay? And I have cut it so that the wrapped loops that were already part of the chain itself are ready to attach. On my butterfly wings, I have a 6mm jump ring coming from the wing, but then a 4mm jump ring is going to be the connection point. That is just because when it is hanging, I needed kind of a flat connection. That 4mm is going to be the flat connection. You see what I mean? The 6mm jump ring is going, you know, we're getting the side view of it. I needed a flat connection there. So we're using the 4. I'm going to go ahead and just open that up. I do not recommend opening and closing your jump rings more than you need to, but keep in mind this is a piece that I've already put together once, so I kind of have no choice, right? So forgive me for that part. All right, I'm just going to hook on our first little piece of chain reaction to one side of our butterfly. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing to the other one, and then we're going to put together our other two tiers of this necklace. So one of the other tiers is just going to be a longer piece, like I said, of the chain reaction. But the middle strand, we're actually going to create our own little beaded chain, okay? And we're going to go, I'm keeping it easy tonight since this is kind of a, you know, since this is a large project, I consider necklaces to be a large project because it's harder for you guys to see the entire piece on the mat here. So when we're doing a large piece and there's a lot going on, I try to keep it as simple as I possibly can. So the strand that's going to go in between here, just going to keep this on my little bead mat here, is going to be these beautiful light colored lavender, lilac, whatever color you want to call that, from the grape juice mix, these little guys. And what we're going to do, you can see I've already done it on some of them, is I'm just going to use eye pins and we're just going to make simple loops on either side, and then we're going to connect those with 6mm jump rings, and that's going to be our beaded chain. And all together, some of them I've already done because I do want to save a little bit of time, not keep you guys here forever. So there are 6 of these that are already together, okay? And then we still have some more to do that I have pulled out here. So there are 3 that already have their loops. So that'll be 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? All together. Is that right? I feel like we're missing one. That might not be right. No, it is. It is. Okay. 12 is right. So you're going to need 12 of these little 4mm. Actually, those might be 5mm beads now that I look at it. I believe they are. Either way, you're going to need 12 of these beautiful purple, light purple beads and some head pins, or I'm sorry, eye pins. And that's all we're going to use to connect these together. We are not going to use any cut pieces of wire or anything like that. I'm trying to keep it pretty straightforward. So grab yourself a handful of eye pins, okay? And all you want to do is you just want to thread one bead at a time onto an eye pin, and then you're going to create a simple loop. No, not even wrapped loops for this, okay? So I like to take mine and grab the wire right as it is exiting the bead and give it the bend, right? But if it's easier for you to make that bend with your finger, definitely do it. You know, just bend that wire over. These are nice and soft. I'll show you in just a second because we're going to do more than one. Okay, so then you want to come in and you just want to go ahead and cut off. We're not doing wrapped loops or anything fancy like that. So we want to cut off the rest of that wire, but we want to leave ourselves enough here. I usually try to measure and make it like a finger width, right? like the very tip of my fingertip turned to the side. That's about how much you're going to need. That's between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch. There's really not an exact measurement there, but if you've marked your round nose pliers, you're going to know, just from memory how much of this to leave behind to make the right size loop. So you're just going to cut that off. Okay, you've got your wire coming out. Now you're going to come in with your round nose pliers. You're going to grab the tip of that wire, and I always hold it so that that wire is facing away from me, so that when I go to roll with my round nose pliers, I'm rolling back towards myself to create a loop, to close that loop up. Okay, I know Wanda says, gasp, no wrapped loops, it's madness. It is, I know, it's weird. And I normally don't do simple loops because mine don't ever turn out very well, but that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing just simple loops, believe it or not. All right, so I've got simple loops on either side, and we're gonna do one more. Some of these are already done. So just going to do another one. Take our loop, or take our bead rather, put it on an eye pin. If you've got nice soft eye pins, you don't have to use your pliers. You can just bend it over. See how I just bent the wire over? So whatever works for you. If it's easier to do it with your fingers, definitely do it. Okay. And then we're just going to come in. You guys are so funny. We are going to do some wrapped loops, so just hang on. Those of you who are like, oh my gosh, we're going to do two, okay? All right, I can't not do them. All right, so we're going to trim off, right? Leaving ourselves enough wire to create a simple loop with round nose pliers. Bring those in. Now, if you are super fancy, you can do this all in one swift motion. And if you can, you're my hero. I cannot create a simple loop in just one simple rollback motion. I have tried and I have failed. So when I do mine, I grab a hold of that wire and then I rock it back. I don't know how you do it, but if you rock it back like I do to get a loop, then that's awesome. If you can do it all in just one smooth motion, you're super. Like you have a superpower. I can't do it. So whatever works for you, do it, okay? There's no right or wrong way. We're all going to end up at the same place with a loop, right? That's all that matters. Okay, so just pretend that we just sped through and did all of those and linked those together. Now we actually are going to go through and link all of these extra ones together. We're just going to use 6mm jump rings between here. And if you don't want to use 6mm jump rings and you want to use a different size, you definitely can. I'm going to use 6s just because I like the spacing that is there with a 6. And some of them are already done because I didn't want to have to sit here all night long with you guys and make you sit and watch me open and close a ton of jump rings, because it can be time consuming, right? So just open a jump ring, thread it on, close the jump ring back. Just be sure that you're opening and closing your jump rings laterally. You're not pulling those open, and that you are getting your jump rings closed really secure each time so that your little loops don't slip out. Okay, you want to be sure that you're getting a nice secure closure. Try to get it as seamless as possible when you're closing those jump rings. Me too. Okay, so Wanda has brought up a good point. Wanda says, my simple loops don't match the eye pin loops. It's like they're a different species. Okay, I'm feeling you, and let me show you. Okay, I feel the same way. Look at mine. The one on this side is the one that was already there, right? This is the one that I made. Mine are always bigger. It never fails. My simple loops are always bigger than the ones that are already on the eye pin. But I got to tell you, once you put it all together like this, you can't tell. And if you can, if you're looking that hard, then you know, I don't even know what to say. You're not my friend. No, I'm just kidding. If you're looking that hard, then really you don't have, if that's the only thing you have to complain about, I feel like you're doing pretty good, right? But seriously, once you put them all together with the 6mm jump ring, it all kind of just disappears in there. And from a distance, if it's hanging on your hanging on you, you're wearing it, nobody is ever going to know. So I wouldn't worry about it, right? Unless it just bugs you to death. But then you're going to spend an obsessive amount of time trying to get those loops to match. And I'm just, I can't. I just can't. I have to embrace that they are different. All right, so we're just looping all these together. Now, with our jump rings, something that is happening here that I do not recommend, and I apologize in advance. We're going to open some of these jump rings back up. I know that I shouldn't, but it's easier for me to show you in this sequence. Words are hard. It's easier for me to show you this way than it is as we're going along. So just bear with me. You'll understand what I mean here in a minute, because we're going to add some dangles to this. And I could have been adding the dangles as we go. And if you were going to recreate this necklace, I highly recommend that you add your dangles as you go so that you're not opening and closing your jump rings more than you need to. But just for demonstration purposes, we are going to we're going to break the rules just a little bit. The rules are meant to be broken anyway, right? I've never been a rule person, so it's really no surprise that I just throw the rules out the window. Okay, so I want to finish this off with 6mm jump rings. Okay. And I don't want to open this one more times than I have to, so I am going to come up here. The butterfly on the bottom wing, it already has a 6mm and a 4mm, just like this one had. Okay, I'm going to take my 6mm and hook it to that 4mm jump ring that was already there. Okay, guys, remember that when you get your butterflies, they're not already going to have jump rings attached to them. I just didn't take them off because I really am trying to conserve the integrity of my jump rings by not opening and closing them a million times. But you get it, okay? So that's what that connection is going to look like on one end, and then we're going to come over here to the other end with another 6mm jump ring. Okay, hook that to that last simple loop on this side, and then we're going to come over here and attach it to the 4mm jump ring on this butterfly and close that back. Now at this point, if you wanted to stop and just give the length to your necklace, you've got a beautiful necklace all ready to go, right? It would be beautiful just like that with just adding your length. But I like to add more, so we are going to add more. And not only are we going to add this third tier of the chain reaction, but before we do that, we're actually going to add some of these beautiful little mother of pearl rice-shaped beads. And we are going to create some little dangles from these 6mm jump rings. Okay? It's going on your permanent record. You guys are so funny. I love getting together with you guys. My week would be so lost without you all. I'm so glad that you appreciate my ridiculous, quirky humor. Okay, so we are going to do wrapped loops on these. I've already done 3 of these so that we can get on with it, right? But 2 of them, they still need their wrapped loops, so we're going to do it. And I'm not going to put one on every single one of the open jump rings here. I just want a little section of these dangles to hang in the middle here. So one of them is going to go in the very center, and then we're just going to build out. So we'll have 5 of those. See how those are going to hang? Which means I do have to reopen those jump rings. That's what I was talking about. If you guys are putting this together yourselves, put the dangles on as you go. Don't reopen the jump rings. But I wanted you to see each step, so I have an excuse. So when it's on my permanent record, I do have an excuse. Okay, so we're just going to use head pins for this. We're going to thread our little rice bead onto a head pin. And actually, this is not the head pin that I want to use. Where's the one I want? That was a little too thick for my taste. All right, so thread that guy on, and now we are going to do a wrapped loop. So I'm going to grab that wire right as it is exiting the bead, and I'm bending the wire 90 degrees. I've got my little space in there. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, taking that wire up and over. Beautimus! Thank you, Jane. It's beautimus. And on around. Okay. And then I'm going to switch hands so that we can do our wire wrapping. Okay. I probably had room for 4 wraps, but I don't want to push it. I don't want to crack that bead, so I'm just going to leave it at 3. We're going to trim off the tail, get it nice and close. There's one. It's kind of sticking out though, so I am going to give it a little pinch. I don't want it sticking out too far. I don't want it to get caught on anything. Okay, so I clean that up a little bit. That's going to go right there. And let's do one more, and then we will attach these. So just thread that on. Bring in the chain nose pliers. Bend that wire 90 degrees. Round nose pliers coming in, taking the wire up and over. Roll the pliers out of the way and guide the wire on over to the other side. And we are going to switch hands rather, and do our wire wrapping. Okay. And then we are going to trim that off. Okay. All right, so now we're going to open at least 5 of our little jump rings here. And you guys are going to pretend like that never happened, that we already did that part. Okay, in order to do this, I'm going to move everything out of my way because I don't want to have to pick this up a whole lot. So let me clean everything up just a second. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to use 2 pairs of chain nose pliers, and I want... I'm telling Tina. I want my jump ring to be open on the bottom here. So I'm very carefully going to kind of twist my jump ring around so that the opening is down here on the bottom. And I'm going to come in, open it up, and slide on one of the dangles, close it back. Okay. There's one. Same thing, I want to kind of guide the jump ring. I don't know why I'm telling you how, because you shouldn't be doing it this way. But just in case. I want that jump ring opening to be on the bottom though. That's where I want to open it so that all of our dangles are going to hang in the same direction. So that hopefully none of them are going to go to the back, right? Close that back. There's one, there's 2. Okay, see if I can find the opening to that jump ring, bring it down here to the bottom, kind of twisting it around here. There we go. Okay, open it up, thread on a dangle, close it back. There's 3. All right, we've got 2 more to go. Open it up, close it back, and 1 more. Okay, get that closed. All right, now I'm going to try to lay everything out nice and flat so you can kind of get an understanding of what it's going to look like before we add that last layer. So you could even stop at this point if you wanted to. If that's enough, then that's going to be a beautiful necklace. But we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to add 1 more layer of our chain reaction to this so that we have even more beautifulness to it, right? Okay, so I'm going to come in, and again, I'm cheating. I'm going to open up this 4mm jump ring right here that's already connected. and thread on the end of our chain. And I might have to pick this one up because that 4mm jump ring is a little hard to see. Let's see if I can get it on there. Boop, got it. Okay, so there's one side. Come on over here to the other side. Open that up. Add on our chain piece. Close it back. Okay. So our 3 tiers are ready to go. So the only thing left now is to add the length to our necklace. But remember, I told you guys that in the little bead mix, the bead mix had a toggle clasp. And so I want this toggle clasp to be part of the design because it's just pretty and it goes with it. Everything goes together so beautifully. I want to put this here in the front. So I'm going to put this over on this side. You can either side, it makes absolutely no difference. And I already have a 4mm jump ring on the loop part. Okay, that's going to go here, and the toggle bar is the part that I'm going to put down here with the butterfly, and it already has 2 4mm jump rings attached to it. Okay, and the 2 4mm jump rings that are attached to this part are really, really important because you need to have enough room so that you can get your toggle bar through the loop. So you really need the extra space. That's why there are 2 jump rings here instead of just 1. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to, here's the 6mm jump ring that's attached to the top of my butterfly. So I'm going to open it up. Again, breaking all the rules tonight. Open that up. I'm going to thread on the bottom 4mm jump ring on the toggle bar, and you can do this either direction. I like to have the toggle bar on the bottom, but some people might like to have the loop on the bottom. Either way is going to work. It really doesn't make any difference at all. Okay, so there's the toggle bar. It's attached. It's going to loop through the toggle ring, and it's going to sit just like that. Okay, so now I need to attach my piece of chain reaction. So I've got my big long 16-inch piece of chain reaction. I don't have to have any other kind of clasp or closure on it. I'm just going to attach it to the jump ring that's attached to the toggle loop. On one end. And then we're going to come all the way around over here to the other end and attach to our butterfly right in the top of our, whoops, well, it would help if you could see. There we go. To the top of the butterfly on the other side of the necklace. Okay, and again, I'm cheating by opening and closing, but that's okay. It's okay. That's just the way it goes. Make sure that's open enough to slide that in there, and we're going to close that back. And the necklace is done, right? And of course, I will put this on a bust so that you guys can see it. But you know what? Let's put together really, really quickly, now that I've made a big fat mess out of it. Let's put together a real quick pair of earrings because you're going to have leftover chain reaction. And I've been wanting to do a real quick pair of earrings using chain reaction for a while. So this is a perfect opportunity. I've got 2 pieces of my chain reaction, okay? It's 2 of the metal links and then the bead that's in there, and they're both the exact same size, which is super convenient. Okay, I'm just going to open up a 4mm jump ring, thread that on to the top of the chain, and then thread on an ear wire. And you'd actually be done at this point if you wanted to. But I want to add an extra bead to the bottom of this, so let me attach this one together, and then we'll put an extra bead on the bottom of these just for fun. If this is too long for you of an earring, if it's too long, you can always shorten it up You can take one of the metal links out if you want to. You could just leave off this bottom bead. You don't have to do the bottom bead, but I love these beads so much. I don't know what it is about them, but I don't know, they just really speak to me. So I think they will be a beautiful addition and will match beautifully with our necklace. So I'm just going to thread these onto a head pin, and that wire will bend. I'm going to come in, trim off, and just do a simple loop here, round nose pliers, roll back. Okay, so I've got a simple loop here, but now that I have that loop, I need to open it back up, but I'm going to open it laterally, okay, just like you would a jump ring. Thread that on, and then close it back laterally as well. Okay, that's why you can't add the bead as you're rolling, because you've got to open that laterally. Okay, last one, and we'll have both earrings. Very rarely do I have two finished pairs or two earrings for a whole pair at the end of these videos, but you know, it's a special kind of night. All right, trim that off, roll back. Okay, there's our loop. Open that loop up, thread on our chain reaction, close it back, and we also have cutie patootie earrings to match our necklace. Yay! I'm excited. I'm excited to have like a whole set ready. That's pretty awesome. Let me put this on a bust so that you guys can see it, and then I'll put on the earrings too, or at least put on one of them. All right, hold on. Twist this around. And looks pretty good. Okay. Flipping you guys around. Hi, 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 hello. Okay. I love it. I'm so excited. I love this necklace. And I don't know if it's the purple that I love, if it's the butterflies, or if it's just the whole thing together. I just think it turned out really, really pretty. I really, really love it. And I love the addition of this like extra purple. So we have like 4 different shades of purple going on. We have this nice deep, deep kind of regal purple that is in the chain reaction. And then we have this soft kind of lilac purple that is running through the center. And then this like electric kind of purple that is just like this pop of bright, bright color through there. You've got your beautiful toggle clasp that is part of the entire design. You've got the beautiful little butterflies. It just really speaks spring to me. I don't know. I really liked it when I put it together, and I thought this is gonna be a good one. So I hope you guys like it, because I think it turned out really, really pretty. It's gonna be a necklace that you can definitely wear with your jeans if you want to, right? I wear everything with my jeans. But you could also dress it up. You know, one of these days we are going to get to go back out into the world and go and eat in restaurants and do things out in the world. And this is one of those necklaces that you can dress it up, you can dress it down, and it was relatively easy to put together. Beautiful, beautiful Jessie James beads make every part of this, right? That's what really sets it off. And then of course you have these really simple earrings that you can wear with the necklace. You can wear them by themselves. Just a really simple pop of purple up in the rest, you know, up here towards your face. And you've got a beautiful set of jewelry, and as I dump these into my lap, you have a ton of beads left over. I literally did just dump those into my lap. But there's like a whole bunch of beads left over, you guys. So it didn't take a lot of beads to create a beautiful multi-layer piece that I feel like is really a functional piece that you can wear in a lot of different situations. A great pair of earrings, and you're good to go, right? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's instant gratification at its finest, you guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on Monday Maker. I really enjoy our Monday evenings with each other. It's a great way for all of us to start our week. It's good inspiration to take you forward through the rest of your week and give you a little food for thought, ways that you can use your chain reaction. Don't forget, tonight is your last chance to get your free chain reaction bundle with your $35 cart. You're going to use the promo code FREE chain special, no spaces. You can also get right now a free pack of Dress It Up buttons with Dress It Up as the coupon code with a $15 cart, or you can get a Design by Me mix like the one we used tonight with a $35 order, and the promo code for it is DB Mix. You can't combine those, but you can definitely choose. There's one of something for everybody, right? And that's what makes it really awesome. So a lot of good sales going on right now. Take advantage of those. Don't forget though, this is your last chance for the chain reaction. The other two, the Design by Me and the Dress It Up button pack, that special is running through the week until Friday. So you've got plenty of time to take advantage of those. And I will see some of you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Dress It Up Buttons Facebook page for a fun project. We're putting together a card, just a really pretty greeting card. It's garden inspired. I've got spring on the brain. So otherwise, I will see you guys again here at 11 a.m. for another Jesse James Beads project. Have a wonderful rest of the night, you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.